whispers started surfacing across entertainment forums and social media feeds on May 30th, stirring curiosity and excitement that quickly snowballed into viral speculation. Could Hunter Schafer be stepping into the mystical boots of Princess Zelda? The idea seemed pulled straight from fan-casting dreams, yet multiple outlets began echoing the same unconfirmed reports. Most notably, the Hollywood gossip that Schafer was being considered for the lead role in an upcoming live-action adaptation of The Legend of Zelda. For longtime fans of the franchise and admirers of Schafer's magnetic screen presence, the news felt like a potential turning point. Schafer, who rose to fame portraying Jules in Euphoria, has become synonymous with characters who are layered, luminous, and emotionally raw, traits that align strikingly well with the beloved princess of Hyrule. Unlike other gaming heroines, Zelda has never been confined to a singular archetype. She has appeared throughout the series in various forms: warrior, goddess, scholar, even alter ego, making her one of the most complex female characters in gaming lore. Casting such a role carries symbolic weight, and Schafer's name brings with it conversations not just about aesthetics or acting chops, but about identity, narrative depth, and modern heroism. As soon as the rumor took flight, fan art exploded across platforms like Instagram and DeviantArt, depicting Schafer with golden hair, elven armor, and a gaze that blended nobility with quiet strength. Reddit threads debated possible plot directions, whether the film would follow Ocarina of Time or Breath of the Wild, and if Schafer's inclusion hinted at a more emotionally grounded or socially progressive adaptation. Mainstream media began weighing in, and while no official casting had been confirmed, the sheer volume of conversation propelled the story into trending territory. Industry insiders added fuel to the fire, with some reporting that Schafer's team had been approached, and that early talks with the production team, rumored to include a partnership between Netflix and Nintendo, had begun. Fans dissected her every post, every public appearance, looking for signs or symbolism, especially after Schafer shared a single black and white image of a forest bathed in moonlight on Instagram. Cryptic and, to many, unmistakably Zelda-esque. Whether or not the rumors prove true, Schafer's potential casting represents more than a Hollywood headline. It symbolizes the intersection of fantasy storytelling, evolving representation, and the powerful way in which iconic roles can be reimagined for a new generation. But as excitement surged around the possibility of Hunter Schafer donning the crown of Hyrule's iconic princess, a storm of conflicting narratives and cultural clashes began to unravel beneath the surface. What initially seemed like a dream casting choice for many soon ignited a firestorm of controversy that stretched far beyond fandom. Critics of the rumored casting voiced concern about the modernization of legacy characters, igniting age-old debates around authenticity, tradition, and artistic reinterpretation. Some longtime Zelda fans, especially those deeply rooted in the older installments of the franchise, questioned whether Schafer's involvement would fit within the mythology of the series. These sentiments weren't always expressed respectfully. Many veered into toxic territories, riddled with transphobic undertones, accusing the adaptation of being more concerned with woke points than narrative fidelity. While Hunter herself remained publicly silent, her fanbase and allies rushed to her defense. Prominent voices within the gaming and LGBTQ+ communities began to call out the hypocrisy of those claiming to protect artistic integrity while ignoring the evolution of storytelling and representation in modern media. On Twitter, hashtags like #TawanZeldaForAll and Tawao's Hunter as Zelda began trending, accompanied by passionate posts defending both Schafer's talent and the legitimacy of inclusive casting. Commentators pointed out that the very essence of Zelda, a character whose identity has shifted from princess to pirate to sage, has always symbolized adaptation and transcendence. Meanwhile, anonymous sources from within the production hinted that the backlash had already reached the boardrooms of the studios involved. Internal conversations were reportedly divided. Some feared alienating parts of the core fanbase, while others insisted the backlash only underscored the need for bold, forward-thinking casting decisions. Leaks from alleged test footage further stirred the pot. One blurry clip, supposedly from early screen tests, appeared to show a blonde figure in ceremonial robes surrounded by Sheikah ruins. Though unconfirmed, it went viral in hours, drawing millions of views and reigniting tensions. Commentary videos began dominating YouTube's trending page, some celebrating the prospect of Schafer redefining Zelda for a new era, others lamenting what they saw as a deviation from a beloved tradition. Fan forums became battlegrounds, with heated debates, moderator interventions, and entire subreddits locking threads to contain the chaos. Major entertainment media, sensing the scale of the cultural rift, published op-eds analyzing what the casting rumor said about Hollywood's shifting priorities, the power of fandoms, and the cost of change. In the eye of the storm was Schafer. Still silent, still enigmatic, her name spoken everywhere, her face photoshopped onto countless fan renders, both celebrated and scrutinized. What had started as mere speculation had morphed into a full-blown cultural referendum, revealing not just the stakes of one movie role, but the evolving soul of pop culture itself. Then, the momentum reached its boiling point as Hollywood found itself at a crossroads, trapped between a fervent wave of support and the friction of resistance. The climax of this cultural maelstrom erupted when Variety, followed by Deadline, published near-simultaneous exclusives claiming that Hunter Schafer had officially been cast as Princess Zelda. Although neither Netflix nor Nintendo issued a formal confirmation immediately, the report cited multiple high-level sources close to the production. Within minutes, every major entertainment platform, from IGN to Entertainment Weekly, echoed the headline. Social media erupted into a frenzy. Twitter's trending bar lit up with Hunter Schafer, Zelda movie, and representation matters all at once. Influencers, journalists, and fellow actors rallied behind the announcement, many hailing it as a defining moment for the entertainment industry. Schafer herself finally broke her silence with a single poetic post. A close-up of a hand grasping a glowing blue rupee with the caption, "Wisdom is not inherited, it is chosen." It garnered over 5 million likes in a single day. But with confirmation came escalation. Petitions were launched, some celebratory, others demanding recasting. One conservative commentator's inflammatory YouTube video, titled "Zelda is Dead, Hollywood Killed Her," racked up 8 million views in 48 hours and drew widespread condemnation from celebrities, gamers, and activists alike. Meanwhile, Schafer sat down for an exclusive interview with The Hollywood Reporter, where she described Zelda not as a princess to be rescued, but as a mythic guardian of balance whose silence carries the weight of ancient power. She discussed training with dialect coaches, swordplay instructors, and lore consultants hired specifically to honor the canonical roots of the franchise. The film's producers revealed that the screenplay had been crafted with input from longtime Zelda developers and included classic motifs while introducing new lore consistent with the series' evolving timeline. Backlash, though still present, began to lose steam as the conversation matured. High-profile creators in the gaming community, including several former detractors, began releasing content re-evaluating their positions after learning more about Schafer's preparation and the production's respect for the source material. The first official image from the set, Schafer in a pale blue royal tunic, standing solemnly before the Temple of Time, was released to critical acclaim. Digital artists rendered it into posters within hours. Even skeptics couldn't help but praise the hauntingly beautiful visual tone. Global fan gatherings spontaneously celebrated what many were now calling the new era of Zelda. Late-night hosts joked about the saga. Variety dedicated an entire issue to the rise of fantasy cinema's new royalty, and the Academy was reportedly eyeing Schafer as a potential future nominee. At that moment, it became clear. This wasn't just a casting decision. It was a cinematic movement, a defining flashpoint in the evolving relationship between pop culture and identity. And Hunter Schafer, once an unlikely choice, was now inseparable from the role of Zelda, her face not only on billboards, but etched into the mythos of a generation. Ultimately, the world settled into a new equilibrium as the dust began to clear, and the narrative around Hunter Schafer's casting as Princess Zelda transitioned from controversy to celebration. What once provoked discord had now become a benchmark of change, a prism through which the entertainment industry examined its own evolution. As production on the Legend of Zelda live-action film officially commenced, behind-the-scenes glimpses began to emerge. Moments of Schafer in costume under the soft glow of set lighting, exchanging lines with the actor cast as Link, whose name, still under embargo, had sparked a separate cycle of speculation. The atmosphere on set was described as reverent but electric, with cast and crew unified by the awareness that they were contributing to something larger than themselves. Early test screenings, held under intense security and strict NDA agreements, reportedly left audiences stunned by the emotional gravity and visual poetry of the film. Word quietly spread that Schafer's portrayal had not only lived up to the hype, but exceeded it, rendering Zelda as a figure of haunting wisdom and quiet strength, capable of stirring tears without uttering a single word. Nintendo, historically cautious about its intellectual properties, publicly endorsed the creative direction in a rare joint statement with the studio, calling the adaptation a bold but faithful journey that honors the spirit of Hyrule. Critics who once fanned the flames of doubt now found themselves rethinking their stances, publishing editorials with titles like, "I was wrong about Hunter Schafer's Zelda," and "Fantasy finally gets it right." Schafer, always introspective in interviews, spoke at the film's press junket about the spiritual weight she felt embodying a character so deeply interwoven into collective nostalgia. "Zelda isn't just a princess," she said. "She's an idea. She represents silence as power, mystery as protection, and femininity as strength. I tried to channel all of that, and I think people will feel it." As the premiere date approached, the internet transformed once again, not into a battleground, but into a stage of unified anticipation. Cosplayers began crafting Schafer-inspired Zelda gowns. Fan-made trailers incorporating scenes from Breath of the Wild interlaced with the official score flooded YouTube. Even the most skeptical fan bases softened, with several gaming influencers admitting on live streams that Schafer's casting had challenged their biases and broadened their perspectives. When the film finally premiered at the Cannes Fantasy Showcase, it received a standing ovation that lasted nearly 6 minutes. As Schafer took the stage in a gown modeled after the goddess Hylia, the moment transcended cinema. It was history being witnessed, a fusion of art, legacy, and progress. In the weeks that followed, box office records were shattered, not just by gamers or fantasy fans, but by curious moviegoers who had never held a controller but recognized cultural importance when they saw it. And as the final shot of the film faded to black, Zelda standing alone atop a cliff, wind in her hair, eyes set on a future unknown, the world knew they had not just watched a film, but experienced a redefinition. Schafer was not just playing Zelda, she had become her.